Hello guys, DJ Aaron here. Today I am going to do a full review on the AT-LP120 USB. I have to say that this turntable does sound pretty good. I mean, it sounds pretty good for $300. It is a pretty good turntable. The only thing that I have noticed though is if you play a record that is very quiet in between songs, you can hear a little bit of a motor pulse. Now you could kind of compare it against my Stanton that I had used for a long time. That too has a slight motor pulse in between songs. No direct drive motor is made equally. People have actually made the complaint that the actual, when you clean a record, which I'll demonstrate, that speed will fluctuate a little bit and not come back on speed. So I'll get a record on here and we'll kind of demonstrate that. Alright, so I got my trusty little cleaning pad here. I'd sometimes do cleaning, dry cleaning here. So I'm going to take the brush and I'm going to put my camcorder up to the dots. Now it will fluctuate a little bit. I'm not applying a lot of pressure. It did come back on speed, like right away. I'm just applying light pressure. You don't need to apply heavy pressure. Now there, it did fluctuate a little bit, but it came back on speed. So, a slight fluctuation in speed, as long as it comes back, you ain't gonna have any issues. And I used very light pressure. Most people will take their brush, I can barely get this out of the plastic. Hang on just a second, guys. Okay, some people will take their brush and press down on the platter. Now, what happens when you press down on the platter, like this, watch what happens. See, that time it came back on speed. Okay? See how it drifts and wanders a little bit? It will sometimes come back. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to apply a little less pressure, especially on these direct drive turntables. Okay? It will drift. Takes only 10 seconds for it to come back, but it eventually comes back. See, sometimes if you apply too much pressure, especially with a pad like this, especially if it's like a kind of a fiber cleaning pad, you will get a little slight fluctuation and it won't lock on properly, but it eventually comes back. Motor noise, like I said, there is a slight pulsing with the motor noise, but I don't actually hear it unless I put my ear up to the platter. So yeah. The very big plus about this turntable, and I think a lot of people like this, is the onboard phono preamp. Now, there has been some debate about the sound quality of the phono preamp. I actually like the preamp. I like the built-in preamp. It gives a lot of emphasis to the sound, and it just makes the sound more filling. When you hook it up and transfer your vinyl, it sounds pretty decent as well. I don't really have an issue with the sound of the preamp. Now, when the preamp is bypassed, yes, it's still going through the circuitry, but even though you're losing a little bit of high end, you don't really lose any high end when the preamp is engaged. You know, there's always a misconception about these turntables. Oh, there's no high end. But in reality, there is some high end because, you know, that's pretty much how this turntable is. The cartridge is the AT-95E. It is a awesome phono cartridge. You know, it's one of Audio Technica's budget cartridges that you can get. It has a little needle guard, which is right here. It protects the needle if you're in transport and stuff like that. The cartridge sounds phenomenal. I mean, for a turntable cartridge on a budget, it sounds awesome. You know, you could get one of these to put on your older turntables, and it will sound just perfect and all that cool stuff. On a newer turntable, it sounds pretty decent. I mean, you can get away with a lot of sound. Now, people have also complained about the cueing. The cueing on mine is pretty decent. I mean, it lowers slow. It lowers slow enough. We got Alan Parsons Project iRobot on the turntable. This thing tracks pretty well. It's playing a record that is actually kind of scratched. So I'm surprised it's actually playing very well. So when we get to the end of the record, I moved the tone arm a little bit. That was me. Okay, when we get to the end of the record, you'll notice that there's no automatic functioning. And the reason why there's no automatic function to this is because it's all manual and you don't have to worry about mechanics and stuff like that. When the record is done, you just take the needle and lift it. Gotta move this needle guard out of the way. I think we're almost done with the track. I kind of placed down where I kind of placed it down where it is, you know. I'm not actually playing this through speakers because I don't want to get nabbed by copyright, but it is playing, as you can tell. I think we're coming up on to the end of that now. Yep. So it's going to go into the run-out groove here in just a moment. So it's not automatic, so like non-automatic turntables, what do? You take this, you move it back. Since this does not have a lower for the rest, you have to, you know, put the cue arm down. Another thing that I like is the actual pop-up light. On this turntable and the Stanton, this also has an incandescent bulb in it. the incandescent bulb is a lot brighter for looking at the target light. So yeah, where you're gonna place your needle and stuff. So this is the same target light that's on the Stanton as well, and the one on the Stanton does work, by the way. It even pops up the same as the Stanton. It's just a little bit slower than Stanton is. So I like the benefit of having a target light. You know, it makes things easier when you're seeing in the dark. So that's why I got a turntable with a target light. And both turntables do have target lights, by the way. And I can I will show you exactly what Stanton's target light looks like as well, so I can kind of compare the two. Okay, so to compare the pop-up light with the Stanton and the Audio Technica, this one's a little faster, and it just pops right up. So yeah, it's about the same with the pop-up lights, and they're both in the same spot, by the way. But the platter on this one is a little bit more dirty than the platter on this one. The platter on this one is a lot more, should I say, more shinier, since it's newer. So yeah, the pros, I like this turntable. It's pretty cool. You can interchange cartridges, and it's pretty easy to use. Once you get it set up properly and efficiently, you can basically listen to records all day. It will track anything. You know, don't look at the negative reviews on this thing, man. It's, you know, the negative reviews, you know, only put the product down, but only at the end of the day. If the person likes the product and they find a lot of enjoyment out of it, there's no need to slam the product. This product, yes, it does have its own flaws. It does have flaws, but at the end of the day, any product has flaws. Even the Stanton has flaws. You know, the Stanton's not perfect either. So, in light of that, I do give this product a positive review. You know, it's a pretty good turntable. You know, for a budget, for a person who wants to have something on a budget and they don't want to spend a whole lot of money on a turntable, this kind of turntable would be kind of for you in a way. Because, you know, for one, you get 3 speeds. You get 33, 45, and 78. And, you know, there's not many turntables out there that do have that speed capability. And if you really want something that, you know, you can enjoy records even with the 3 speeds, get something like this. You know, it's a $300 turntable. You know, I would understand if it was like a $87 to $70 turntable. A $70 turntable could be crap, but it would be enough to start you out. But this thing is, you know, almost as close to a Technics 1200 you're going to get. You know, given that the torque isn't perfect, but I mean, it's okay for listening. And, you know, as long as it's set up correctly and all that, there shouldn't be any problems. You know, there really shouldn't be any problems. But anyways, guys, that will be kind of it for this video. I just wanted to kind of do my own review on this turntable and, you know, how things are going so far. And, you know, things are going well so far with this turntable. And you know, like I said, don't believe any of the negative reviews that people are giving it, because at the end of the day, a turntable is a turntable, and that pretty much is it. So anyways, that is it for this video. Peace out, practice and enjoy. I know this video is going to be long. I'm going to have to render it in 480p because, it takes quite a while to upload it. So anyways, guys, that is it for this video. Practice and enjoy, and we'll see you guys in the next one.